And then when HTC released the Vive, I had always been really interested in AR because of mobile, and in VR because when I was at Virginia Tech, they had a pretty cool VR setup called a cave. Have you heard of a cave?
I have not. I have not at all. I actually, I went to college over at George Mason, so we weren't too far away. But if I
That's
had known
right.
they had something like that, I might have actually visited some friends, but I was too lazy getting drunk over there.
Well, there were a lot of opportunities to get drunk at Virginia Tech as well. That was the majority of college, but it was they did have this cave, and it was one of the maybe three or four universities in the world that had this setup, and it was really cool because this is in 2007, which is like the year I graduated college. But it's basically imagine a 10 by 10 cube, okay? And you're standing inside the cube. So in every direction you look around, you're basically in a 10 by 10 room, but the ceiling is gone and the wall behind you is gone. So on those four other walls, they project content onto the walls and they project it in stereo, and you're wearing these stereo glasses. So out of each eye, you're seeing something different and you're seeing a projection. So the cool thing about it is you actually can see your hands because you're looking through these glasses, but everything that you see is in full 3D. So you can walk around this 10 by 10 room, you can interact with things. You have this 6 DoF controller that you can use to interact with stuff. And it's like a very futuristic kind of VR setup. And the resolution's pretty good because it's all rear projected, and it was running off these like massive high powered computers, so you could actually push the graphics pretty well for the time. And I got to kind of experience that, and I was like, oh man, VR is awesome, but like obviously people aren't going to have caves in their house
Hmm.
anytime soon, so it's not going to be a consumer thing for a while. And then when HTC came out with the Vive, I tried it at the Microsoft store, and I was like, oh shit, this is really good. This is way more compelling than I thought it would be. Maybe consumer VR has a future.
Can I
And
stop? Can I stop you there real quick?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
please do.
think that's for some reason, and I know I had some things that I mean, there's a lot that I get into, but what is going on with every single person I speak to, similar to you, similar to me, similar to many of the people I talk with? It's always HTC coming out of people's mouth first. It is. It seems like everyone's first introduction, HTC was there, and I think that is a big reason they have so much goodwill. But and I know this is a tangent compared to what you were talking, but it's just weird to hear every single person bring up HTC first.
I mean, I don't like, obviously, I love Oculus, and I think what they're doing now is tremendous for VR. But when the Rift came out, I mean, when the DK1 came out, I bought that and I tried it and was like, yeah, this isn't this isn't that interesting to me, frankly, because like it's 3 DoF and the resolution sucks, and like I don't know, it's just not. It's interesting, but it's not worth pursuing. When the Vive came out, it was the first 6 DoF headset that I tried that had a 6 DoF, two 6 DoF controllers, and the first game that I played was Space Pirate Trainer,
Hmm.
and I mean at that Microsoft store, like I was like breaking a sweat trying to set the high score. I was like, you got to let me go again. You got to let me go again. And I was like, this is insane. Like, I mean, it was so intuitive. Uh, and it was just like, I mean, it was just mind blowing. I like went home and bought one immediately and bought a computer to power it immediately. And of course, end up getting it all set up. Use it a handful of times, and it was like, okay, this is actually just way too much of a hassle to do on any regular basis. Um, but yeah, man, the Vive when it first came out with the 6 DoF controllers just crushed it. And then when the Rift came out, I thought the optics were great. I
Hmm.
thought the tracking was better. The head tracking was smoother, but the Xbox controller was like, what are you guys thinking? Like, that's just like, what are you doing? You saw what the Vive is with the 6 DoF controllers. Like, what are you doing with the Xbox controller? Like, I don't even want to use this thing. So yeah, man. I mean, HTC had a huge head start. I feel like with the controllers and with the headset, and I mean, the rest is kind of history
Yeah,
at this
we
point.
we we kind of know where they stand now. You and I were speaking about that before. All we know, HTC, cut it out with the meme culture, unless you're going consumer products. Um, But with this tech, I think I've been following you for a little bit, watching you kind of tease. I haven't seen the product come out yet, but tease accessories that will help simulate the golf experience better. But I don't see a lot talked about it. I know I think it's the Oakland A's. Yeah, Oakland Athletics. They just started using VR for their training. Although the headline for the training got a lot of attention. The headline that one of their players got injured because of it during it did not get a lot of attention because he has now a season-ending pinky injury apparently.
Oh
Which
my God.
this sounds like a Drew
Wow.
Bledsoe football thing all over again. But have you studied or is there anything out there that you guys talk about where this virtual reality golfing, whatever it is, or golf? I know I keep saying golfing. I'm gonna get killed by my golf friends, but is it translated at all to real life skills?
We don't have any data to prove it, and it's interesting because when we first started developing for the Quest, which was like almost exactly 2 years ago, right after the Quest One came out, the initial goal was to develop a training product where you could connect the Quest One controller directly to your putter using this little attachment that we have. I probably have one around here somewhere. So you're using your actual putter, and it's all getting tracked in, SIGSTOF. And we built a swing analyzer. We were kind of going pretty far down that rabbit hole, uh, and and then we kind of realized that, like, you know what, like, this is going to be a real uphill battle, because what happened for us is we would talk to golfers about it and say, hey, we're building this VR training thing for putting. You can use your controller. It tracks everything. It tracks all of this data, and it's only going to cost like $400 for the hardware. And every golfer that we talked to was so skeptical. They're like, "Yeah, but we golf. Like, it's not really going to work." Da 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 da. And we would show it to them. We would put a demo. Get a headset, send it to them, stand there with them, have them try it, and put them through this thing with the analyzer. And like, we'd have to rip the headset off. I mean, they'd be in there for a long time, hitting putt after putt, being like, this is amazing, this is amazing, holy shit. And so after someone tried it, it was incredible. The feeling of holding your putter and hitting putts and getting feedback instantly was amazing. But the sales pitch prior to them trying it was always like, yeah, this is a toy, not a tool. This is a gimmick. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to work, blah, blah, blah. So we decided to just like put the whole training thing completely on hold and flip directions entirely to focus on gaming instead of training. And frankly, we just haven't really looked back. That being said, I do
There
in
it
my
is.
office. So here's one. These are all made by other people, which is super cool to me that other people are 3D printing things to use in our game. This is the one that I'm the most excited about. It's a guy named Royce, and he sells it on Etsy. It's really cool because there's no strap or anything. So the controller just goes on right over top, and it kind of gets attached in here. And it's solid in there. I mean, I've swung as hard as I can. And then there are weights below the controller. So you get this really nice feeling of weight that you can use for putts, you can use for full swings. And the tracking's great because the entire controller is facing the headset versus being kind of vertical, which can lose tracking. So Royce on Etsy, who makes this, has done a phenomenal job. I think he actually hasn't released the full weighted version yet. But if you buy the existing version, it's like an adapter that attaches to it, so you'll still be able to upgrade. Anyway, I'm super bullish on getting attachments in. I only play with the attachment now. Whenever me and my coworkers play, or if I play friends, like, I'm attachment only because I have noticed a pretty significant improvement in my own putting. I don't have like official stats to back it up, but a lot of putting is just confidence, especially within 10 feet. It's just confidence, like picking a line and hitting your line. And because of VR, I mean, I've probably hit 10 to 20,000 putts within 10 feet over the last couple of years. So when I get up to a putt on the green, I'm just not nervous, right? Because I just have so many
Absolutely.
reps. So I'm bullish on it, but I do think training is always a relatively small market compared to just like entertainment and consumer.
Hit that subscribe button to stay on top of the daily clips, or catch the debates and fireside chats live on the main channel down in the video description. See you next time, Space Cowboys.